Well, Deb Murphy filed this report for Sierra Wave Media. Following 2 hours of discussion and a recess to review the final agreement with Healthcare Conglomerates Associates, the 4-day-old Southern Inyo Healthcare District Board of Directors got down to the nuts and bolts Saturday. Would the 3 board members approve the contract? Perhaps the only hope for keeping the state from revoking or suspending the district's hospital license? They did. Board member Jackie Hickman wanted more time. Chair Dick Fedchenko wanted to sign a letter of intent to sign, but Mark Lacey made the convincing argument that the management agreement with HCCA was, quote, the best we can hope for. Our constituents are the ones we have to answer to, and they want us to save this district however possible, end quote. Lacey also noted that he'd never sign an agreement with this short of a time frame in his own business. Now, 2 issues appeared to tip the board in the direction of HCCA. The management company would present its plan to turn a struggling Southern Inyo hospital around, to Scott Vivona, Assistant Deputy Director, Center for Healthcare Quality at the California Department of Public Health, to forestall license revocation, and HCC's legal firm would handle the District 9 bankruptcy, the District Chapter 9 bankruptcy filing. Now, with between $2.5 million and $3.5 million in debt, HCC's Dr. Benny Benvizi is betting on his own ability to duplicate the turnaround his firm made at Tulare Regional Medical Center by fronting the money needed to get Southern Hospital open, running, and eventually profitable. The funding is in the form of a loan to the moneyless district. All district revenues will be managed by HCCA as part of a $65,000 monthly fee. Now, the signed contract is for 5 years with a 30-day backout clause for both parties. Benvizi outlined his approach. First, HCCA would hire a chief restructuring officer to oversee and reorganize hospital operations. We'll change the driver to take this bus in a different direction, Benvizi said. Then he went through a list of funding sources he said Southern Inyo Hospital had not taken advantage of, including intergovernmental transfers, 340B, a federal program allowing eligible hospitals to purchase drugs at a discount, critical care funding by accurately reporting the cost of keeping the facility running. Now, reopening the skilled nursing facility was also a short-term priority. The last of the 15 patients transported to Bishop Care Center left the facility on Wednesday, December 30th. Southern Inyo Hospital has not been working with patients, he said, evidenced by the percentage of self-pay patients. With the expansion of government-sponsored insurance, everybody should be covered, he said, noting that the hospital can sign self-pay patients up for Medicare or Medi-Cal. All this represents several million dollars available to, but not being taken by Southern Inyo Hospital, he said. He said this is a team effort. That's what Benvizi told the packed audience. This will not happen by the management group or the board, but by the community coming together. Now, before Fedchenko adjourned the meeting at dusk on Saturday, he advised employees to check the Southern Inyo Hospital Facebook page for notices on returning to work, depending on Benvizi's ability to convince the CDPH to allow the hospital to reopen. The hospital's IT system was shut down last Thursday, and Inyo County staff will be coming in today to get it back up. Now, in addition, fire system water lines had frozen and burst. An employee caught the break in time to avoid serious damage. The heat was turned back on to avoid further issues. The Rural Health Clinic, Southern Inyo Hospital, remains open. You can see more on this story from Deb Murphy on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, former Mono County Administrative Officer Jim Leddy is coming under fire in Sonoma County after a newspaper there published reports from The Sheet weekly newspaper in Mammoth Lakes. Now, the headline in the Press Democrat reads, Sonoma County official Jim Leddy rehired amid sex harassment inquiry, and goes on to detail some of Leddy's alleged actions in the brief tenure the newspaper quotes as Mono County administrator. Now, Leddy told the Press Democrat, quote, it's a personnel matter and I'm not going to talk about it, end quote. Now, the Press Democrat reported Sonoma County officials say they did not know that Leddy, described as a fixture in North Bay government and political circles for more than 2 decades, had been accused by a 29-year-old female subordinate of a wide range of inappropriate behavior in Mono County. Now, Leddy was hired in Sonoma County in May to serve as a special projects director for Sonoma County Community Development Commission. Now, of the allegations of sexual harassment, Leddy said, quote, "Again, it's a personnel matter and I'm not going to talk about it," end quote. Now, the Press Democrat report says that, quote, neither the woman nor her attorney would comment on the allegations. In her complaint, the office manager claims Leddy engaged in harassing behavior soon after he arrived in Mono County on June 10th, 2013. Now, before that, Leddy had worked in a number of governmental roles in Santa Rosa and Sonoma County, most recently as a deputy county administrator, end quote. And again, the Press Democrat notes that the sexual harassment allegations were first reported in The Sheet. That's the weekly newspaper in Mammoth, published by Ted Carlton. Now, after the November 27th news report written by Mike Bodine, and Carlton also had a page 2 response about those allegations against Leddy, the story quickly made the rounds among political insiders in Sonoma County. And the story says where Leddy was a Santa Rosa City Schools board member from 2001 to 2008. Leddy ran for the state assembly in 2004 and in 2008 became the county's community and government affairs manager, a post that doubles as county spokesperson. Now, by the time he left in 2013, he was a deputy county administrator. The Press Democrat story continues to say that Sonoma County officials said they learned of the events in Mono County only after reading the November report in The Sheet. The Press Democrat story says that when Leddy first arrived in Mono County, the woman who later filed the complaint was not yet the manager of the county administrator's office. Initially, she was a fiscal technician making $38,520 per year. Leddy would promote her to office manager 16 months later, resulting in a $16,000 raise, the newspaper reports. Now, during nearly that entire period, the woman would later claim Leddy regularly sexually harassed her, annoyed, and intimidated her, that report says. Links to the lengthy Press Democrat and The Sheet stories are available on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, Deb Murphy filed this report. The Olancha Volunteer Fire Department arson investigator will be working with the Inyo County Sheriff's Department in determining the cause of a house fire that resulted in a fatality on Ray Lane in Dunmovin on New Year's Day. Dunmovin is approximately 12 miles south of Olancha. Now, according to Olancha Fire Chief Steve Davis, call came in at 5:07 p.m. January 1st. And when the firefighters reached the scene, the brick and mortar structure was completely engulfed in fire with flames reaching 40 feet high, Davis said. Units from the Lone Pine Volunteer Fire Department and CAL FIRE also responded. No official identification of the fatality has been made. According to Davis, the body will be fully autopsied in Orange County. As to the cause or details of the fire, we're not ruling anything out, Davis said. We'll be back with more news.